Welcome to the Manx Theatre Podcast.
Come on to the theatre!
Hello, and welcome back to episode 28 of the Manx Theatre Podcast with me, Neil Callin. Thanks to everyone who's listened to our previous episodes. If you're brand new to the podcast, welcome along and thanks for joining us. In this podcast, we like to try and keep you up to date with what's going on in theatre on the Isle of Man, and chat to the cast and creators of upcoming shows to find out a little more about the shows and the people behind them.
Coming up on this week's podcast.
I chat with Lisa Kreisky, who's about to take on the lead role in Parker Snell's production of Shirley Valentine, which runs at the Gaiety Theatre from the 25th to the 27th of November. Now, one thing I forgot to mention in the last episode was that not only is the West End opened up, but so have a large number of the UK touring shows, and a lot of the cruise liners are back up and touring again. So recently we've had Damien Neil heading back out on the Les Mis UK tour, which I believe also has some limited European dates as well. Also, Ben Karen is out on the Heathers UK tour. And also, on a cruise ship somewhere off the west coast of America, Anne-Marie Crane is starring in Kinky Boots. Best of luck to all you Manxies out there on tour. If you're a Manxie who's currently out on tour, drop me a line and I'll give you a mention in a future episode. Okay, so joining me now is Lisa Kreisky, who's just about to head out on stage later this week with Parker Snell's production of Shirley Valentine. Lisa, welcome back to the podcast. Thank
you very much for having me back. I'm very excited to be here.
Oh, it's great to have you back. Well, you've only got a few days left to go, so you must be deep into tech. Are you ready to go?
Absolutely ready to go. You know what it's like yourself when you're in a rehearsal for a show. We've been, of course, it's just me on stage. It's a one-woman show. So I am a little bored of my own company by now, having rehearsed it for 2 weeks. And it's one of those shows, those plays, it's so funny and so endearing and so relative that I think now it really just needs audience reaction, interaction. Yeah.
So for those who don't know the story, I mean, there's people of a certain age that will remember the 1989 film with Pauline Collins. Tell us what it's all about.
It is all about this wonderful woman called Shirley Valentine. Well, that's her maiden name. Her married name is Shirley Bradshaw, but she's remembering the time that she was Shirley Valentine. And now she is I want to say middle-aged housewife. She's 42. So that would have been middle-aged in the 80s. Watch it, Neil. So she's a 42-year-old housewife. She's brought up 2 kids who she adores. She's got a husband. It's not a very happy marriage. She feels stuck in her life, stuck in the 4 walls. And she just dreams of something more exciting, of traveling, of living the life that she used to have, really, and the dreams that she used to have and the aspirations that she used to have. She sits in her kitchen, making her husband chips and egg, talking to the wall, and just aspiring to be something more, which I think in some way, shape or form, we can all relate to, whether you're a man, a woman, young, old. Does everybody live the life that they truly want, or does some of their life go unused? And that's a big theme in Shirley Valentine. We've got so much life in us. How do we use it all? Does some of it go unused, or do we just carry around all this unused life with us? God, that was a bit deep, wasn't it? Sorry about that.
That was impressive. It was good. I liked it.
A lot of lines going around in my head, babe.
Yeah. So how long is the show? How long does it run for?
String. It depends. No. It's a standard 2-act play, so an hour and a half maybe.
Yeah.
But what I will say is there's absolutely no let up. Of course, we have an interval. I need a break apart from anything. But it is full on. It is energy, and it's pathos, and it's storytelling, and it's excitement. There's a little bit of absolutely everything in this play, and it's Willie Russell.
Yes.
I mean, if you're a fan of Willie Russell, as I always have been, there's just it's so typical of his writing. You know, Willie Russell wrote Blood Brothers, Our Day Out, Educating Rita, among others, and it really is just typical of his, especially his early writing. It's so funny. It's such banter, even though it's only one woman on the stage.
Yeah.
It's banter because she's storytelling about the people that she knows and she's met.
So do you, having not seen the one woman version of it, are you sort of playing other characters at the same time then, as you tell the story? Do you take on the persona of the other characters?
I wouldn't say that, no. Shirley Valentine is not an actress.
Yeah.
So she's storytelling. She's a storyteller. So she's telling about the waiter that she, oh no, I don't want to give that bit away. She's telling the story of her kids when they were young and how her husband is, and Gillian from next door. So like, if I'm telling you a story, I have to be a bit careful here. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but if I said, her from next door, she came round, she was like, oh, look at my new car. Oh, what do you think about that? And I'm like, oh my goodness me. Yeah. She, there's no point arguing with her because you can't top it.
Yeah.
It would be like me telling you a story as Lisa Kreisky.
Yeah.
But of course, the challenge in Shirley Valentine is that
you're not allowed to swear.
You're not allowed to swear. Being on your podcast. But she, Shirley Valentine is telling the story of these amazing characters that she meets. So it's a real challenge as an actress because, I'm not brilliant. I'm good at accents. Well, my mum says I am anyway. My mum says I'm really clever. But Shirley Valentine she's not an actress, so she's telling the story of these people, but she's not doing an impression, or she's not taking on the role. It's always Shirley Valentine storytelling, and she's a great storyteller. Or should I say Willie Russell is?
Yes. Now, you mentioned a little bit earlier about constantly having to make your husband chips and egg. Mm. I saw from a post on your social media the other day that you were chopping spuds. Is that part of the play as well? Is it? Have you got whilst delivering a monologue, you're peeling and chopping spuds?
Essentially, absolutely. Yeah. She is peeling spuds. She is chopping the chips. And I must say, I do sort of favour myself as quite a good cook, and I was quite impressed with my chips by the end of rehearsals the other day. But she's also having a glass of wine and talking to the wall. And
standard Wednesday night, isn't it for you?
Totally standard Wednesday night for me. So I just she is such a joy to play, because although she is stuck in this life that she's not content with, she has so much energy and humour and empathy with other people that you'd want to go out for a drink with her. She'd be the person that you'd want at your dinner party, I reckon.
Yeah. So you've th 3 performances then over the next 3 days. That's Thursday, Friday, 4. So I can't even count. 4 performances. So
Thursday, Friday, and 2 on Saturday.
Ooh, it'd be like deja vu on Saturday night.
Do you know what I sort of pride myself in is that I like to think that each time I do it, and whether it's a one-woman show or whether it's a cameo in a musical, I like to think that I bring something different to it every time. So no matter what night you come on, you might see something different every night. Hopefully the same lines.
The same order as well.
Yeah, but I'd like to think that I bring something different to it each time to keep it interesting. So if you want to come a couple of times, feel free.
So this is Parker Snell then. So you've worked with Parker Snell quite a few times, haven't you?
I have. Me and Carl go back a long way, Carl Parker. We were friends when we were 12. We used to hang out down Port St Mary. And it's just joyous to work with him. I've done 2-handers with Carl before. He's an incredible actor, first and foremost, but he's a great producer as well, because he really takes on your ideas. You know, we throw ideas for set and for costume and obviously for the show around the rehearsal room, and I'm really lucky to be involved. And then of course Colin, I've done a lot of shows with Colin as well, and I love working with Colin as well. He really lets me as an actress run wild, and experiment and bring my own cards to the table, which I really, really enjoy. Yeah, I'm really fortunate that they've trusted me enough, because it's a massive amount of trust that they're putting into me. For just to stick some, chick from Farm Hill, chuck her on the stage for a couple of hours, see what happens.
Yeah.
And they're really entrusting me to do this, and I'll be forever grateful, because this is a role that I've wanted to play since I saw the film in 1989.
Yeah. I mean, I guess when there's more of an ensemble cast, you can support each other and keep each other going. But like you said, when it's a one-woman show, it's just you. So, yeah, to put that faith in you, obviously they're obviously pretty impressed with what you've done for them in the past.
Well, they just went, oh, do you know what? Just let her do it.
Give it a Kreisky, let her do it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it is just me on stage, but of course, yourself that the backstage crew is as much a part of the of the production as the people on stage. The lighting, the sound, the person, Georgie, who's going to be calling the corner, James, who's going to be the stage manager, assistant stage the stage manager. My gosh, sorry, I've got a lot of lines going around in my head. Sometimes the words don't come out. But James, who's stage managing, and Jude, of course, who's doing the costumes. We're all a team, and I might be the one with the lights on me, but it's definitely a team effort, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for that team, you'd be stood on the stage naked in the darkness.
Well, yeah, I'd bring a torch. And of course, the audience, there's nothing more depressing than going out and there being more people on the stage than there is in the audience.
Indeed.
And if that was the case in this show, that'd be dead embarrassing, wouldn't it?
You're seriously in trouble if that was the case, yeah.
please, everybody buy tickets.
So how are ticket sales going? Are they going well?
Really well, yeah. We're very fortunate. I think it's such an iconic show, and of course an iconic film, that even people who perhaps wouldn't go to the theatre normally will come and see it, because it's a lot of people know it, especially of our sort of age group. But as we always say, ticket sales are good, but they could be better. It would be lovely to play to a huge, get that white and, is it white and red, the sign out the front, the full house.
Yes.
Yeah, but we'll see. We're very fortunate, especially with times as they are at the moment, with the the C word, COVID.
Yes, yeah. Okay.
We're so fortunate that we're even able to put on a play like this.
Yeah.
So any local support that we get, and it is a local theatre company. We're a local actress. We're a local actress. I'm a local actress.
Speak about yourself in the third person.
I know. Oh, don't! I'm actually turning into Shirley. But any support that we have is massively appreciated. And yeah, you're guaranteed a good night, providing I don't have a heart attack and faint in the wings through fright.
Right. So we're at the Gaiety then the next 2 nights. So obviously tickets are available then from the Gaiety box office from 3 nights and 1 afternoon. Yes. Yeah. So tickets available then from the Gaiety box office, from the Welcome Centre, Villa Gaiety online, and is it 600 555? I think it is to ring up in there.
600 555.
600 555. Brilliant. But before we go, because I think we're nearly done. Last year we introduced our musical theatre playlist on Spotify, and Neil and I set up 20 songs between us, which were songs from shows that either we've performed in, that are our favourites, or the songs that mean something to us.
Was Neil all ABBA?
Yeah, I think there was not all ABBA, but I think there was definitely an ABBA one in there. If not, I'm sure he's probably going to add one very soon anyway, especially with the second Mamma Mia show. So, I mean, in amongst those, we've got So what, Neil did put a song in from Sweet Charity, so there you go. That's probably his tribute to you. Obviously, it was Sweet Charity as well. Oh, and some from the producers. So there we go.
Oh my goodness.
So in amongst the collection that we've got, Lewis Kelly chose Waving Through a Window from Dear Evan Hansen. Nicky Openshaw chose You Will Be Found from Dear Evan Hansen. Jonathan Slight chose Damned for All Time from Jesus Christ Superstar. And Chrissy Sutcliffe, a good close friend of yours, she chose I Am What I Am from La Cage aux Folles.
Love that. Love
So,
that.
Lisa.
And this is why I love all these people, because they have such wonderful taste in music.
They do. So what show tune would you like to add to our playlist, and why?
I think it would be only appropriate. I mean, my favorite musical of all time is Blood Brothers. It's an actors musical and kind of appropriate since the play was written by Willie Russell,
Yes.
who also obviously wrote Shirley Valentine. So I think I would choose certainly one from Blood Brothers, and the one that springs to mind is Marilyn Monroe, because she is one of my absolute idols. I adore her.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, Lisa. We wish you all the very, very, very best for the next 3 nights and 4 shows. And we look forward to speaking to you again soon.
Thank you very much for having me on.
No problem. Cheers, Lisa. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You're listening to the Manx Theatre Podcast with Neil Callin.
So as Lisa said, we have Shirley Valentine coming up at the Gaiety Theatre on Thursday, the 25th of November, and that's an evening show, as is Friday the 26th. And on Saturday the 27th, they have both a matinee and an evening show. In the last episode, I mentioned a whole list of things that are coming up over the coming months, including the Service Plays putting on their doubleheader of plays at the Errant Arts Centre, Mackle Village Hall and Port St Mary Town Hall on the 2nd, 5th and 9th of December. Peel Pantaloons doing Robinson Crusoe. We've got The Sound of Christmas featuring the children from the island's primary schools. That's being led by Katie Lawrence again, which is a fantastic, and I think the ticket sales are going brilliantly on that. You haven't got a ticket yet? Hurry up and get one, because they're going fast. Also, I mentioned Shone Productions are providing the Gaiety's annual Christmas panto again this year. What I didn't say is that they're doing Jack and the Beanstalk, and Jack Divers is playing the lead role of Jack. So it should be easy for him to remember his character name this time. Right, with that then, we bring episode 28 to a close. Thanks once again to Lisa for joining me on the podcast today, and we wish her all the very best with her one-woman show, Shirley Valentine, at the Gaiety this coming week. Remember to like and follow our social media pages to get notifications of upcoming episodes and events, and don't forget to check out our Spotify playlist by searching for Manx Theatre Podcast under playlists. If you have any events that you'd like us to talk about or promote in a future episode, you can contact me through my social media accounts or by email to manxtheatrepodcast@gmail.com. All that remains is for me to say thanks for listening, and I hope you join me again next time on the Manx Theatre Podcast. I've been Neil Callin. Goodbye.
The Manx Theatre Podcast, taking a look behind the scenes of Manx Theatre.
And happier than actors alive for me.